Good morning from Laurel Creek Shelter, and we spent the night here last night. So we are just over 200 miles, just barely over 200 miles from Laurel Creek in Damascus. It's supposed to be 60 degrees today, so we'll see what happens. I haven't seen the sunshine yet. It's kind of gray and overcast, but the good news is I could hear snow melting last night off the roof of the shelter. So it was just a few minutes after 9, and I've already had to strip off 2 layers. Took the fleece off and tried putting the frog tog back on, and it was too hot. I was roasting. So between this climb and the sun being out, we are more than warm despite the snow around us. And I have a feeling it's going to be higher than 60 degrees today because it's only 9 o'clock and it's already heating up. So let's hope that's the case, and let's hope that's the case all the way to Damascus. Just a quick announcement here. I'm right around Kelly Knob. I'm going southbound up to Kelly Knob, and I found this iPhone. So it's got an OtterBox on it, and I haven't tried to turn it on yet, but the person who is missing this, you know that this is your phone. So hopefully anyone seeing this can spread the word on YouTube. And I'm going to take it southbound to Pearisburg unless I hear otherwise. So the owner of the phone has been found. It belongs to Ghost. And actually I passed him and Captain Blackbeard yesterday. So I left a message on Captain Blackbeard's YouTube page. And he messaged me back saying the phone belongs to Ghost. So the first part of the issue is solved. We've found the owner. And now all I have to do is figure a way to get it back to him. That's probably not going to happen until Pearisburg, unfortunately, but at least he knows I have his phone, and that's got to be a good feeling because I've been there before. So we got a bit of fire damage here. It must have been one crazy storm because, I mean, there's trees uprooted everywhere. And a bunch of them have been burned. We're taking a little break here at Warspur, and I just wanted to tell a little story about a incident of trail magic, true trail magic, that I had back in 1998. It started at this shelter right here. So I need to tell a little bit of backstory. In '98, most of the water sources through Virginia in September were dry. So I was mostly dehydrated during that trip. It wasn't a good year for water at all. So when I got to this shelter here, I came in, and on this shelf over here, there was a can of chili that said 100% delicious. So I opened it up and I ate it, and it was 100% delicious. But the problem was, I didn't check down at the water source to see if the water was running. So you can hear the water from here right now, but in '98, when I walked down there, there was not even a damp patch of sand. That's how dry it was. I couldn't even dig for water. So I put myself in quite a predicament by eating that spicy hot chili. So I start walking up this hill, realizing what a huge mistake I've made. But I notice in the data book that there is actually a spring a little bit further up the trail. So that's what I'm going for. And right about somewhere in this area here, about 2 minutes after I left the shelter, I run into a man and a woman and 2 dogs coming towards me. So I asked them if they had seen any water up top, and they said no, and they kept walking. So I'm thinking not good, but maybe they just walked past it and didn't see it. That's the spring I was looking for. But back in '98, I just cruised past this, and yeah, there's really nothing marking it as a spring. And chances are, if Warspur was dry, I'm thinking this probably was too. So we are at Wind Rock. This is where I'd walked to, thinking this was the spring, 1.5 away from Warspur. I'm here looking and looking. I guess I must have been here about 45 minutes to an hour looking around for the spring until I finally realized I'd passed it and that I was here at Wind Rock. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, from over those rocks right there, came the same couple and the same two dogs that I had seen when I left Warspur. So I was a little confused because they were headed in the opposite direction. So I asked them again, have you seen any water around here? And they're like, no, but we've got some water down in our car and you can have it, but it's been sitting in the car all day. And at this point I said, I'll take it. So I followed them down to their car and they busted out a cooler. And there were several 2-liter bottles full of water that had condensation on them. They had been iced down all day long. A 2-liter bottle of iced tea. They handed me an icy cold bottle of Irish cream, which I actually took a sip off of. And they told me I could take the bottle, but I really honestly didn't want to dehydrate myself any further. And they gave me some yogurt that they had taken from the buffet at their hotel room that morning. And if it weren't for those people, I'm not sure if I would have made it to Bailey Gap, because it's a rocky little stretch between here and there. And I was pretty much staggering around. I was that dehydrated. So, true trail magic story, starting at Warspur Shelter and ending at Wind Rock. And we're not too far from Bailey Gap, and that's where we're headed for the night, so we'll catch you down the trail.